Hi, everyone. Welcome to Be Different for Success. Today, we'll be talking about why successful people wake up early. They say the early bird catches the worm, and several successful people are proving that old adage to be true. From Navy SEALs to Apple CEO Tim Cook, who famously wakes up before 5 a.m. each day. Successful people are often early risers, and in this video, we want to explain why they do it. But don't worry, in the next video, we will also talk about how you can do it too. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the video link, How to Wake Up Early, in the description below. For many of us, on the other hand, there's no greater pleasure than sleeping in and not getting up until you absolutely have to. But as it turns out, there may be more merit to getting up early. If you struggle to be that early bird and consider yourself more of a night owl, you should know that studies have shown that 90% of executives wake up before 6 a.m. on weekdays, and nearly 50% of self-made millionaires wake up at least 3 hours before their workday actually begins. So you should ditch the snooze button and start getting up earlier in the morning. It might just change your life. But before we dive into the tips and benefits, let me start by saying that you don't have to wake up early. You're not destined for failure if you wake up late. I'm not going to look down on you if you don't wake up early. That being said, there are a ton of benefits to waking up early, as long as you do it for the right reason. The most important component of creating a successful morning routine is actually having a good reason to get up in the first place. Waking up at 5 a.m. isn't going to magically turn you into a millionaire. You can find an interesting video about this topic, how to become a millionaire, in the link below. It's a means to an end, not the end itself. If you're under the impression that you need to wake up early because it causes success, think again. Success comes from figuring out what your values are and aligning the things you do around those values. Once you realize that waking up early serves a purpose, you'll treat it as a means to an end instead of the end itself. Then you'll actually stand a chance of making it a successful habit. So now the main question is, when is the right time for you to go to sleep? Going to bed at 9 a.m. and rising at 5 a.m. is the key to getting the perfect night's sleep and waking up in a good mood. Circadian rhythm is at its lowest point between these hours. Hitting the hay early gives our minds and bodies the best chance to repair themselves overnight. Sleeping 9 to 5 means we will get up at 5 a.m. physically refreshed and free of the feelings of bitterness, paranoia, hopelessness, anger, and frustration. Slumber between 9 and 11 p.m. rebalances metabolism and stress levels. Energy and muscles are revived from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. The final 4 hours dispel emotions such as fear, anger, and sadness. For more in-depth information about sleeping well, I left 2 videos in the link below: Importance of Sleep and How to Sleep Better. Here are 5 reasons successful people are up and at it early before the rest of the world. Number 1, time. You'll give your body time to wake up before starting your day. Studies prove that sleep inertia, that slow-moving period between sleep-induced brain fog and full wakefulness, can last anywhere between 2 to 4 hours. If you're rolling out of bed at 8:30 a.m. to get to work at 9, chances are you're not going to arrive ready to do your best work. Getting up early gives your body a chance to reach peak wakefulness naturally. Many successful people wake up early so that they are able to use undisturbed time to do stuff for themselves. Waking up early is great for getting organized, strategic thinking, and planning. Additionally, getting to the office first means fewer distractions from colleagues. Number 2, clarity, control, and success. Early birds have it under control. Instead of rushing into work like everyone else, they have already started their day and are calm, collected, and accomplished by the time the rest of the world joins them. Many early risers claim to have increased creativity and inspiration in the mornings. If you think about it, between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m., no one is really awake. This is why it is such a good time to do work for yourself rather than others in order to get ahead. Furthermore, social media is at a standstill, and you are least likely to get distracted by texts, emails, and phone calls. Early mornings are quiet, and the world is at a halt. making the time more productive. In fact, when it comes to business success, morning people hold the important cards. Usually, they anticipate problems and try to minimize them. They're proactive. A number of studies have linked proactivity with better job performance, greater career success, and higher wages. Number 3. Exercise and breakfast. People who exercise in the morning tend to have a better work-life balance. Working out in the morning will give you extra energy for the day, reduces stress levels, and clear your mind so that you're focused. Also, many people neglect breakfast in the morning or opt for less healthier options due to time constraints. Waking up earlier allows time for a healthier meal, which increases energy levels and improves productivity. Number 4. Improving your quality of sleep keeps you healthy. Research has repeatedly found that those who get up early set themselves up for better quality sleep when they hit the sack that night. Other related research has shown that night owls are more likely to develop sleep disorders and tend to sleep less overall than the early birds. Having night owl tendencies may also come with serious health effects. People who get up earlier are far less likely to develop mental health conditions like depression, anxiety, and other mood disorders. It's hard not to get frustrated, annoyed, or even downright upset when we're exhausted. Also, recent studies have discovered that regardless of their lifestyle, people who stay up late have higher levels of body fat. They also have an increased risk of developing other health problems, such as diabetes and low muscle mass. Staying awake during evening hours can set the stage for unhealthy habits, such as being sedentary, drinking alcohol, and indulging in late-night snacks. For that reason, night owls are at higher risk for depression than early birds. On top of that, most night owls still have to adhere to the constraints of our culture's morning-minded schedule. That means that night owls may be going to bed late and waking early, thereby getting insufficient sleep on a regular basis. Chronic insufficient sleep is linked to everything from cardiovascular disease to poor mental health. So it may be worth it for night owls to gradually shift their sleep schedule in order to get 7 to 8 hours of shut-eye at night, if only for the sake of their overall health. So this means that if you get up early, chances are you'll be ready for bed earlier, setting you up for a good night's rest. Number 5. It will be easier to stay upbeat. Generally, early risers are less plagued with negative thoughts than those who stay up late and sleep even later. Consider just how many of us tend to let our minds reel with stressful, anxiety-ridden thoughts when we can't sleep at night. While it's impossible to simply will away the negative thoughts or keep ourselves from having insomnia, it's worth working on trying to set good habits. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Please click the thumbs up and write your personal tips in the comments below. Thank you for your support. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more from us. See you in the next video.